special guest today is from Zambia, Mwami Adventist Hospital. They have been serving there since 1994, so they've been there for 27 years as medical missionaries. So Dr. Ang serves as the all-around physician, as in he is the pediatrician, anesthesiologist, obstetrician, surgeon, and more. And in his spare time, he's even the plumber, the electrician, landscaper, all of the above. He also serves as the medical director of the Mwami Hospital and the Health Ministries Director of East Zambia Field. Mrs. Judy Ang is a nurse by profession and is currently a lecturer in the Mwami College of Nursing and Midwifery, and she extends her services in the East Zambia Field as Women's and Children's Ministries Director. And in her spare time, whenever that is as well, she also enjoys gardening and cooking and decorating and everything in between. So most importantly, it's a privilege for me to introduce them to you today because they hold a dear place in my heart, and you know, we all have the same last name. So it's not just by chance. I get to call them my parents, mom and dad, and so now it's your time. So we're all sharing a screen. So yes, let me figure out first how to let them sit here too. Let me also just share the screen if that's possible. Share screen. Okay, one moment. Okay. Let me know if you can see the screen. It'll just be a blank. It should just be blank. Yes? Thumbs up. Vocally say that you can see just a maroon screen. Perfect. Okay, so now I will now stand up. Okay.
Hello. Good morning, everyone. Happy Sabbath.
Good morning.
Good morning, happy
Good
Sabbath.
morning, happy Sabbath.
And we want to give also our greetings from Zambia. Mulibwanji. It means, how are you?
Gandang umaga po sa inyong lahat. And I'm very happy. And thank you very much, ASC, for the invitation. I was asking, what is ASC? And it's IS Singles Club. Wow. This is a very good invitation because we have young people like Patrick, Beth, and who else? Chloe. I can see Chloe, Diane, and some more coming. And I feel young when I'm with young people also. So we have something to share this morning. Thank you for having us here in this singles program.
Okay, so you know when Charmaine or Patrick, when you are trying to organize and then you told us that, oh, we want you to speak in this singles club or association, and said, okay, they said that, can you share about your love story? And you know what I said? Of course, I've been through that stage. If there is the most interesting topic that young people would love to listen is about love, isn't it? And we have different journeys before we reach that stage. So this morning, we want to share to you how we ended up together as husband and wife. Now, I want to read that text, that quotation first. Excuse me, my voice is a little bit hoarse, but 100% this is not COVID, okay? So my voice is a little bit hoarse. Let's hope. Okay. So love is a precious gift which we receive from Jesus. Pure and holy affection. It is not a feeling, but a principle. Okay, I want you to take note of that one. It's not a feeling, but a principle. Let those who are contemplating, I couldn't see the one. Therefore, contemplating marriage, weigh every sentiment and watch every development of character in the one with whom they think to unite their life destiny. And then this quote is coming from Messages to Young People, pages 435.
I like that message too.
Okay, now on this stage, I could see the different stages where you are in now. Some of you are ripe. Do you get that word? Ripe, okay? You are ready for this relationship. Some are very ripe, and others are already overripe, okay? So today we will focus on on how to help you also find a partner. And by sharing our testimony, you will pick up some things.
Before we start, I would like to give you a little background of ourselves. First, for me, before we met, of course, my origin is from the Mindanao, and when I finished nursing in the in the Mountain View College, that was nursing. I finished nursing, Bachelor's of Science in Nursing, and I worked 1 year in Iligan Sanitarium and Hospital then. And then I had, after that, I went to Ethiopia as a missionary nurse for some years, 4 years, and then came back to the Philippines, to the medical school in Cebu, in Southwestern University. And now my internship, my postgraduate internship was in Manila Medical Center, Manila Sanitarium at that time. So I was here. Now I will tell you something, that it was the first Sabbath here in Manila. The first Sabbath, I went alone, and I went to Manila Bay. I can even see Manila Bay here. I can remember Manila Bay. We are staying here in our unit in La Virgin. I can see Manila Bay, and I could remember that it was almost sunset in a Saturday afternoon. I was alone. So I put myself in a situation, in an environment where I can really talk to God verbally, verbally. I was looking around and I see no people around, nobody was there, and with the waves and breeze blowing in my face, and it was beautiful scene, at the time, cool, quiet, and I prayed, and verbally I said, Lord, maybe I would like to be, so maybe see if there are some people watching me, and maybe I might be crazy or what. So, but I don't mind, I talk to God verbally. And I said, Lord, my God, I'm here. I am now ready for training as a postgraduate intern in Manila Sanitarium. And what I want, Lord, is the next step of my life. And of course, I need to look for a wife, my life partner. And because, Lord, if I choose for myself, I will make a mistake, I'm sure. But if you choose for me, that's my prayer. If you don't want to choose for me, I will never fail. So that was my prayer, simple as that. And I went home. And of course, I prayed for the qualification. I mentioned specifically the qualifications. I will be in sanitarium, and I'm looking for a nurse, a Seventh-day Adventist, of course, and faithful, God-fearing, and missionary-minded. Missionary-minded, because I want my focus is to go back to the mission field. I want to bring somebody with me to work in the mission field. So missionary-minded, God-fearing lady, and of course talented, and not living behind the beautiful. Of course, that one is very important as well. So a good character. That's my prayer. And so what happened was, okay, my wife also will, my sweetheart will also.
Okay, on my side, at that time, I was a newly graduate nurse. I studied in PUC at that time. Today is now Adventist University of the Philippines, as we all know. And, it was my prayer, because when I was in college, I attempted to have a boyfriend, and actually I have one, but my dad is different. He told me, Judy, I will not allow you to have a boyfriend until you finish your nursing profession. So, okay, as an obedient girl, I have a boyfriend at the time, but I broke up with him because I love my father and said maybe he has a good point for not having a boyfriend during that time. So when I finished college, I have some suitors, but I just ignored them because of what my father had told me. But I said when I graduated, now I have the chance to find one, to have my boyfriend, because I already finished college. So the same like what Ron, I prayed. I said, Lord, I'm ready to now have a relationship with the opposite sex. Now, but as most of us, we have this question: who is that man? Where is he? Where can I find him? You see, those are also my challenges at the time. But I pray to God, Lord, I need a man who will what? Help me with my plan. Actually, I wanted also to be a missionary. See, I have that in mind when I was still a small girl. I said, oh, I would like to be a missionary teacher. But I did not go into teaching course, but in nursing profession, and I cannot understand that time why I said, why is it that I came into nursing instead of teaching? But then I said, Lord, please send a man who is God-fearing, okay, a talented. Of course, it includes being handsome, and of course, good, have the good qualities or the values in life, as long as it is God-fearing. And then I don't mind. I said, I did not even specify to God that a doctor. I just say a God-fearing man and missionary-minded. That is the number one qualification that I'm looking in a man. And then when you pray, God will already have a program to answer that prayer in his perfect time. And God will just put things in place. You don't know them. But if you are, having the faith, you have put your faith in God, and then you allow him to lead you, all the circumstances will just come, and you just have, you just go into the flow and follow it. And God will put you in a place where you don't expect to meet. And you know what? One day, okay, this is the first time that we already met. One day, I was there in the hospital working. I took some specimen of a patient. Like, nurses, we collect like urine and stool, and then we are going down to the laboratory to bring them there. So I used the elevator to go from the third floor, okay, from the second floor to the ground floor. And at that time, as the elevator opens, I'm talking about the Manila Sanitarium as here. Oh, I saw this guy, this doctor. And then I just kept quiet. I don't know him. But what I know is I'm holding a stool and urine in my hand to bring it to the laboratory.
I perfectly remember that occasion when I went there. That was my first encounter with this lady. And I didn't mind, in the elevator, I didn't mind when I came in. I didn't mind her looks. I didn't mind, but I was focused on her nameplate, because when you meet somebody, you want to know her name, their name, yeah. So I was focused on her nameplate, and I saw her surname, and this is the same name, surname, Catolico, and in her nameplate, and I said, that sounds very familiar. Are you related? How are you related with my friend in Mountain View College? And what did you say?
And then I said, oh, that is my uncle. It's my uncle. But actually, I just heard from my parents that he is my uncle Wilson, but I've never met him. So, and you know what? That started our conversation.
So I introduced myself. By the way, I am Ron.
And then he said, I am Ron. He said, and I said, I'm Judy. And we want to talk more. And then the elevator opens. So we parted ways.
There's nothing happened there, of course.
No, nothing, no attraction, no sparkle, no butterflies that we felt. That's it, we parted ways. So, but you know what? When I gathered from the elevator, it will take me maybe 100 meters to reach the laboratory. I said, who is that doctor anyway? He was so humble. He did not even introduce himself, I am Dr. Ang, but instead he said, I am Ron. That, I was impressed with this guy, you see? And we never thought that we will meet again because we are busy in the hospital. I work as an emergency room at that time and then rotating to different places because I was a newly graduate. And for him, he's a postgraduate. So we thought we never meet again.
I also concur with that because I never thought of that we will meet again. That was a casual meeting and nothing attached to that. But I know that God will find. You know, my prayer was to find for somebody in the hospital, not a patient. Of course, that of course we met in the hospital because we were working together. And we have been exposed to similar circles of friends, especially in church. When I went to church in the multi-purpose hall, we go down and then during Sabbath, and she's there. Who was that? I was so interested in I attended the small group Bible study, and she was there also. So we had a choir. I also enrolled myself in choir because I like singing. So I involved myself in the choir, and Judy was there too. And then during Sabbath school, she was secretary at the time.
Yeah, chorister.
She presents. Yes, she presents. She's very active in a spiritual program. And then I said, "Wow, something," but there's nothing behind my mind of that, but I just been admiring, you know. So what were you also?
Until that, the same with me. Wherever I go, for me, I've been there like 2 years earlier than him because I was a student. I had my internship here, so I'm usually that group. You know, I'm in the Bible study choir, and then I also noticed him. I said, "This new Dr. Ronn is here again. Wherever I go, he's there." And there was a time, you know, that I think I'm very sure that really made that time that we have now a better interaction, because one Sabbath afternoon, I cannot forget that time when there was just the two of us. I don't know why it had happened. People came late. And then, of course, just to make ourselves comfortable, we started chatting together. And then I said, "Oh, so you are here." And then, you know.
So in our conversation, I introduced myself and that I was a missionary. And then I have one question. I said, "Judy, do you have a desire to be a missionary also?" So, and then I remember that she responded, "What did you say?"
And you know what? When I heard that word, when he asked me, "Do you want to go to a mission field?" You know what, with the casual way, because he is my friend with, you know, my personality, with excitement, said, "Hey, I really wanted to become a missionary." And then I did not know that he said, and when that time that I know that he's a missionary, I said, I think I have now a point from this guy, although it's not, we don't have any connection yet, but I have to, I said, hey, he has the spirit of being a missionary spirit. So I have to take note of this man.
Because remember what we said before, that I was looking for a life partner, not only a sweetheart, but a life partner. I was very serious. I was very sincere on that prayer. So I have, and then because she said she wants to be a missionary also, then they said, "Oh, that's clue number one. Clue number one." So I was looking for some clues, God's leadings, when looking for. Of course, I've observed also some ladies around in the our circle of friends. I've been observing them also to have more wider scope, and it stands it stands out more occasion for us, more chances that we can meet in different occasions. So that's one clue also. And since we wanted to know more, one day I invited her for a first date. Just a friend like that. So I said, "Judy, you want to go with me? I want to invite you for a walk." It was Saturday. Saturday afternoon is very special anyway, so when we relax. Now, do you know where we went to? You know, I was new in this place, and probably Judy was well versed with the situation already. She was here in Manila for quite a while, so I didn't know it. So we decided that we go to where? Rizal Park. The Rizal Park, and you see of course we want to it was a casual acquaintance. And we walk there, stroll around, and admiring, you know, the beauty of the place. And of course, in the near afternoon, of course, I was thinking we have to go for a place where we can eat something or snacks or whatever, you know. So I don't know the place. She didn't know. I asked her where do we find the place, and we went to a place where a small shack or a shade like that.
Like a food court in Rizal Park, you know?
Food court in
Rizal Park.
Moa food court, but this time, but it's Rizal Park, and unfortunately, it's hard for us to communicate to the waiters and the waitresses because they are deaf and dumb. So we have a problem of buying food because what do we have, sandwich or whatever? So I have to with sign language. I don't know how to sign language, but I say sandwich. Sandwich, yeah. And then the lady there also understood, and she wanted drinks or sign language, you know. So we were there, we're eating. So yeah, it was for us, it was unique, and it was very
It's really very casual.
unprecedented.
Very casual because for me,
Never experienced like that.
It's just like for me, it's a new friend. So very casual. So we were just laughing because with those dumb people and deaf, it's hard to communicate. But we are enjoying, the two of us, because we know how to communicate with them. And then there was like a silence, you know, like a silence like that. And then
our conversation, I said, because I want to know her. I don't know her heart. She comes from different place, different area. So I said, Judy, I like you. That's what I said. I like you. And he said, me.
I think with this mind, as the lady said, this man just said, like, I like you. So I said, I'm not also like, to be honest, I like him. Why did I go with him if I don't like him?
Oh, there's another clue. I said, so every time I would ask her, she would be willing to spend time with me, and she makes herself available. So I said, this is another clue. Not for other ladies, I have not found like that. You know, she's so available. That's so friendship that is ongoing.
Okay, so with that friendship that we have established, we are just, you know, like seeing each other, attending meetings, only to find out that we were already friends for 1 year. So we have known each other, know other things until we come to the stage that we are getting more serious. And then Ron told me that, Judy, I think we could not just stay on this stage being friends, but we have to move to another stage. And you know what it is?
Judy did not think think about what I was doing. I have a book named called Complete Courtship by Nancy Van Pelt, and I was reading through that one, and I think these are stages of life, friendship and courtship. It's all there. So I followed the guide. That was a guide for me. So there was one time when I thought of there's a need, you know, there is a prompting in me that we have to go to the next stage of relationship, and that is courtship. So how would I do that? So I had invited her to come home.
And so that time now when he said, Judy, we have to the next stage, can we become now sweethearts? Of course, that's the thing that also I've been waiting for. Of course, as a lady, not always friendship the whole time for 3 years, 5 years, but there's also an ultimatum. He said, okay, this is the thing that I've been waiting for. Finally, he said that he loves me. We will become sweethearts now. Okay, so to make the story short,
I didn't even know that she was really, waiting for that. But I was also
but you know what? I have a challenge in my part. because I told God, I said, God, please help me to choose from. And at that time, I did not tell him anything that I have 3 other more suitors aside from him.
She was so
So I did not tell him, but that was the time, Lord, this is it. Finally, he said that he loves me, he likes me. So what should I do?
And
Will I just take away from this thing, because I have to choose the best?
I had no idea that she had many suitors, also admirers, and there were even I didn't know that they are sending flowers to her in the emergency room where she was working, flowers, and the friends hide that, you know, evidences so that I will not see. But I did not even dare to ask. You know, I was just praying, Lord, is she the one? I want your leading, you know.
Okay, so I was very secretive. He doesn't know my agenda, that there are some suitors. So you know what? I believe in the counsels from others, because my father, he said, as long as you graduate, you are free to marry, as long as you just introduce to us that man. But there is one guy whom my grandparents in Canada really like him to be my partner also, so that I could go to Canada, you know. And then they said, Lolo, you know, I have a challenge. Please help me how to decide now. I need a decision. I'm choosing now. I have 4, but I will eliminate the others because I have 2 men left to choose from. And you know what my grandfather told me? Okay, let's do this one. Let's do a kaslat. You give the names of all these 4 men, and then you write it down, and then whatever you pick, you send it back to me. Don't ever open it. And then the second thing for me to do is to toss a coin. You know, the coin has 2 faces, one head, the head and the tail. And he said, from the face, you put the name of your first choice, and the second one is your second choice. And so you have to toss like that with a friend looking at that, so that no cheating. You know, it was hard for me, Lord, this is the greatest test that you could give me. Suppose I have a lot of things, but with my faith, I put that course, you know, with a friend. At night, I could remember, but because of lack of time, I said, friend, please help me. She's wondering, Judy, what are you doing now? Just follow what I'm going to tell you. Let's get a 1 peso coin. This one is for Ron, and the other one is for, you know what, with prayers, I tossed that coin. It went up and it lay down on the floor, and fortunately it was the head, and it is Ron. I said, oh, it's Ron. But remember, there's one more test about the kaslats. So you know, the males will come too long, and he said, there is like it took the weeks to arrive, but luckily with the ultimatum date, I said, Lord, I have to make my decision before 1989 closes. Ron should tell me that he really likes me, because he will not tell me that he likes me, I will go to this other man. And you know, before that date, 7 days before 1989, I received the letter of my grandfather, and you saw he said, we don't have any option, even if we like the guy here in Canada, the name that you have picked from that 4 names that you gave us is Ron. I said, oh, thank Lord. But Lord, I have to hear that really Ron loves me. Only 7 days more to go before I give the last ultimatum. What's next? And you know what? December 23, I did not know. And he did
7 days. I didn't know that she had a time frame. I didn't know about that. I just feel the prompting for me that 7 days remaining. She has a deadline. So it was December 23, 1989, and then it was almost Christmas date, and then after that we
had a date, of course, again.
I proposed that we'll now go to the next level and we become citron. I said, Judy, I love you. That's the first time that I told her.
After 2 years of dating together, he said, Judy, I love you.
Remember that I just said
I like you.
I like you, and now after 2 years, I love you. That's how long?
And then I said, finally, Lord,
time.
answered prayers after the toasting, after those kaslas, and now the confirmation is from on his own lips that he said, I love you. I want you to be my wife. But of course, we waited for another year, and after that Christmas, that was the happiest Christmas that I ever had in my life. And God really answered my prayers. And then on that time, the next year, he invited me to his home, and then to introduce me to his family, and the family, you know, accepted accepted me. And to make the story short, in it took us like 6 months to be engaged, and then another 6 months preparation for the wedding.
Of course, I have to ask permission from her
The
parents as well, the
pastor.
family, for the approval, because parents, we have to respect them and get their opinions as well. So praise God that everything, there was no other comments or against that plan, so they were very supportive to that.
And before that, I often forgot that before he really wanted to court or go dating, he wrote my parents first to ask permission. I forgot to mention that one, which gave me, you know, like comfort, and I feel like more free, because he asked permission from my dad if he could court me and date me, and even at the end if he could marry me. But the last, of course, with the term that he climbed the father, and all went well. And now we have to start processing for our wedding. And this is another thing that we didn't realize during our courtship, our time when we were together, our age gap. Now you could see the evidence now, the gap. But during that time, we didn't see the gap between us, that we have 11.5 years gap. Would you believe that? I was 24 when I got married. It means I was 22, 21 when we found each other. And at that time, he was already 33. But for a man, that is the time for the bloom time for men. So I saw him very handsome, very young at that time. I did not mind about the age. But
I have because you see, I went to the long road, being a missionary and then medical school. It took a long time. And a long road like that on the pursuit of education. I had to plan ahead that at that time this is the best time for us. So this gap, I never also questioned. It was not a question for us, or it was not an issue with our age gap at that time. But it's all of those are God's leadings.
So you see that, and then one thing that really, when we try to apply for our wedding documents here in Pasay, that's the only time that I realized that they said the lady is underage, 24 years old,
and she was so discouraged.
Discouraged. Why did they tell me I'm underage? I'm ready to marry.
But we did something.
You know what?
And it was approved.
We could not go back anymore to my place because we are already signing. My place is very far from Manila, 8 hours. And the time it was a good cheat that we did, good cheat, So I said, we signed, because my father approved already. You just signed the documents for my father. So he signed, the countersigned, Pastor Isidro Catholico, father.
After 30 minutes, we went back to the council. And then they accepted.
Because there's already parents' consent. That was, we were saying, that was a cheat lie, you see. We could not go back. Anyway, my father had already given the go signal. 8 hours to travel and then come back. So we just signed. I signed for my parents' signature, my mother, and then he signed for my father's, and then we said, and then, okay, approve. Now we said, okay, June 3 is our wedding. So I was so happy that finally, with all the process of knowing each other, how God has led us, finally, we are getting married June 3, 1991. And guys, this morning we have celebrated our 30th anniversary. Okay, last June, and all those years of our marriage, we have challenges, but we have been very happy all throughout our marriages, because we know that how we started our courtship, our friendship, God was our guide in leading us in everything. So we have some keynotes for you to leave, okay? And of course, after the marriage, we had stayed together in Manila. We worked, and then we went to Africa as a missionary, which is our, really our commitment and dedication to the Lord, that we want to work as as missionaries. And the common interest really help us a lot, because even if we face a lot of challenges there, because of the common interest, we enjoy what we were doing. We were able to survive for 27 years in Africa as missionaries. So here we have.
So to conclude, we have 8 key takeaways for you.
Okay, number one, we have friendship. That friendship, you have to take time. Don't rush, okay? Friendship is the foundation for you to know each other. Because in that friendship, if you don't like that somebody, as you observe him, that you don't like this man, or maybe there are some disagreement from your friends, from your loved ones, or counselors, you will say that, oh, okay, I think this is not the guy. And then number two here is readiness. Just like me, I was ready. I was available at that time. So as long as the man comes down with all my qualifications, I will not say, you wait, I'm available. So readiness is the number two. And number three, when you pray to God, you ask what the qualifications that you want, whatever you ask him, be specific. Just like me, I specified to God, Lord, this is the man that I like, and he provided. And number two is that standards, maintain your standards. It is better to cry, it is better to wait, okay, than to cry at the end. It means the standard is very important. And that's why here friendship readiness is specific. Be specific when you're praying, and then you maintain your standards. Don't be when they said, oh, I think this is the right man now, I have seen everything already, but as I said, and then there is one thing that doesn't fit your qualification. Please maintain your standards, because that is very important. That's why I said it's better to wait than to cry in the end.
The number 5 here in our list key is that there's support from friends, parents, and from family. You know, with our experience, counselors are very important. And you have to involve other people as well. Get connections with them, and they will help you make your decisions. And like that experience of Judy, I never had any clue, any idea what has been done in her side. So another point here is that let God lead in all my decisions. In all my decisions, allow God to lead all those circumstances, all these opportunities, and it's there. God is talking to you. Involve God in all your decisions in life. Now the Bible is replete of so many advice and Bible promises, and the Bible is a perfect guide. And you know, God is a perfect matchmaker. God is a perfect matchmaker in a perfect time. No one is perfect in character, or you know, there are so many defects, but there are so many things that we need to build on upon each other, helping each other. That's why we have that life partner to make us successful in our career, in our mission in Christ. So there are verses that there's a quote here that says in one of the books that I've read that infatuation is in a hurry, but love takes time. So in our experience, it takes time. It takes time. There's no rush, because we are looking for principle. It's not with feelings. So it's by principle. Love is by principle. And I want to also share this. I like this Psalms 32 verse 13. It's a very nice verse. One of the verses that I like in the Bible, and it said, I will instruct you and teach you in all the way you should go. I will counsel you with my eye upon you. So this is one of the beautiful verses that inspires me so much.
Okay, so you know what? Both of us love to sing. And this is also the one thing that really makes us to be good friends during the process of our friendship, because we have singing group, we sing together. And you know, during our wedding, we sang this song together. I cherish the treasure. We really sang this song as we were before we exchanged the vows. And as I've told you, my voice is not so good this time, but I'll try my best to sing. So 30 years of marriage, and to sing this song again is quite meaningful to both of us.
I hope everyone can hear that.
I cherish the treasure of you. I give myself to you. God has enabled me to walk with you faithfully and cherish the treasure of you.
And I obey the Spirit's voice and seek to do His will. I then can see the wisdom of His plan. For as He works His will in me, I then can love you selflessly, and by His grace can pledge my love to you. I cherish the treasure of you, lifelong companion. I give myself to you. God has enabled me to walk with you faithfully and cherish the treasure of you.
This sacred vow I make to you does not contain an if, though I'm aware the trials lie ahead. I will love you and pray with you, and through it all I will stay with you. Our home will be a refuge of unconditional love. I cherish the treasure of you, lifelong companion. I give myself to you. God has enabled me to walk with you faithfully and cherish the treasure of you. And cherish the treasure of you.
Okay, so that was the song, and God has blessed our marriage with two lovely children. As you know, Charmaine is one of them. She's the youngest. And our oldest son is Rondale Ivan, and he is now also with us. And he is right now doing his postgraduate internship also in Manila Sanatorium. And you know, we could say that God has been good to us. He has heard our prayers. He has led us. And with our family, we, as a missionary, we have committed ourselves to be missionaries to God, for God alone, and that our commitment is to serve Him all throughout our life.
To God be the glory.
And thank you so much. This is the end of our share this morning. Thank you so much for listening, and we hope that you have gotten some lessons and also some tips on how to go about to our relationship until you find the right man. And I have to end this with a question. Okay, you have to question yourself. if I find this one, is it worth staying or living with this man or this woman that I choose? So stick to that mind so that at the end you will not have any regrets, but a joy and a very good relationship, and then serving the Lord until he comes. Thank you so much.
Wow, that was amazing. Thank you so much, Dr. Ron and Ma'am Judy, for sharing your wonderful story with us. I just want to open the floor now for questions. Perhaps some of our friends would have questions. They would like to ask you questions about their life or some tips from you. So I just want to open the floor now. And if you have any questions, Dr. Ron, for Dr. Ron or Ma'am Judy, you can ask now. Okay, any questions, friends?
Pastor Manla, don't be shy.
I was going to say, Pastor Manla, if you have any questions. Isti,
I think there are no more questions because I could see in your stage you are already ready. You are, so I've said earlier, you are ripe already, very ripe, are some and overripe. You are just waiting for the right time, isn't it? But if you have any questions, yeah, okay, we would love to answer them if we will manage to do it. Okay.
all right. Okay, so perhaps there is no question or people are shy.
Can I just no? This is not question, but like reaction.
Yes, Gabby, go ahead, please.
Yes, it's wonderful to hear your story. Wonderful love story. Like it's so interesting, you know, somehow exciting because it's the reaction when you're telling it. It's somehow beautiful, and I'm so blessed to know this story. And the lessons, of course, it will be. I will remember it. Thank you so much, family of the mother and father of Charmaine. God bless.
Yeah, now I will just add something on the ladies' side. You know what I could advise to ladies' side, especially on your age. Sometimes don't just wait for a man to come. You make also some initiative, okay, in a good manner, okay, not the very obvious. Because you know, if you just wait, sometimes it says that you have to do something like make yourself available, make friends. It doesn't mean that you are flirting if you do the initiative, okay, like friends. You could admire a man just saying hey, and that man will say, who is that man? He will question also, why is that girl, I think is telling me like this. And you know, sometimes the starting of friendship will start from there, okay. So ladies, I know, don't just wait for the last minute until you, because you're already last minute and you are rushed, and then this is it, Lord, now I'm late already, I just want to accept this guy. No, while you are still time, make yourself also available, okay.
Yes, that's true. Thank you.
Don't study too much. Don't priority your masters, your assignments, because they are due. And then at the end, you find yourself, Lord, I am a master. I'm a student. I'm already a doctor. But where is the man? But what did you do during in between? You are just prioritizing your studies, and men, they don't like that. They want a lady to have time also for them. So that's how it is. And the same with the guys. Okay.
Yes, I think Manla has a question. He
Yes,
raised
I
his
have a
hand.
question.
Yes, Manla.
I just reminded me of what we were discussing last night. That that was the same question which we were discussing, and it seemed some people, they are waiting for God to bring the man or the woman because they don't know what is their choice. So they are waiting for God maybe to make a miracle for them to know the person. And others, they say they have high quality standard, which they want somebody to fit into it. Is it a realistic thing for people to do that?
Yeah, no, there is a, you know what, sometimes, especially for us Adventists, we believe too much in, I mean, that is good, I'm not against that one, but we have to do something as well. Because of course, with the situation that we have, now it's COVID, how could you even have an interaction right now? The situation is much difficult, that is delaying to have a relationship. Now, Lord, where is the man? You know, we have even this virtual. If you have like something like for me, that's why I said women should also be initiative. It's not to be flirting, you should know your standard, but try to initiate. You know, I just want to have a chat with you. Can you, I want to know you more. And then even, you know, with that interaction, sometimes if you have that impression, God will find a way. You know, there are 1,000 ways that God will find you together. Even us, whom do I expect that God will find that elevator for us to find each other? And you know, I just realized that I said, Lord, I know, I understand what you did, why you did not make me a teacher at that time. You want me to be a nurse. Because if I was a teacher, Ron did not find me in the hospital. You see how God put things together. He already planned for it. And it's up for us to do our own thing as well. So ladies, please don't just wait for God to give you bang. You have to do your part. And even men, if you have been attracted to one man, try to find ways. Like for or even vice versa. Try to find ways, especially this virtual, you know, this COVID. Like you, lady, you could cook something to give him like a banana cue, and I mean you could give a rambutan, not a durian. That is a bad smell. It is very fancy. Try to give something that will open up a communication, isn't it? And then you pray, God, I have done my part. Please find way to make it even find us bigger way to find each other, and God will do His part, isn't it? Don't just wait. That is not good. Even when Esther, Queen Esther, you know that King Ahasuerus, what's the name now? When he doesn't like the wife, what did he do? The advisors even call women to have a parade and to choose. That's what we should do. Okay, so I think I have heard answer. Prayer is there, but you have to do something also that will find ways. You know, there are a lot of actually ways that God will put you together in singing. Even this virtual, you could just see the smile, the sparks, the eyes of your friend. I think this man, the way he smiles, you know, I like it. And even the personality, the character. So try to make a move.
In line with
Thank
that
you very
question,
much.
I think there's one answer to that it is found in Proverbs 16 verse 9. Proverbs 16 verse 9. The heart of man plans his way, but the Lord establishes his steps. Man proposes, but God disposes. So we have to move. And you know, that's my experience, because God can be just quiet, but you have to plan and to make your ways known to God, and God, the Lord, will establish your steps, and you'll be delighted of your decisions in life.
Thank you very much for that answer. I think you have won some convert today. Some people I see, they are repenting of what they were saying yesterday. And I believe they got some good information. Don't be selfish in your standard. And I see that you need to make a move. Don't wait until God brings somebody. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I just want one more thing there. You know, I understand ladies, because ladies, some of us or many of us, we just want to say, oh, I don't like this. You could not find all the qualities in a man, and the same with that man. But my secret when I was trying to choose my life partner is that my top priority was there. Like God-fearing, I want missionary, Maybe if he's not handsome, but God is good, at least he gave me a presentable man. So it's an added advantage, isn't it? So God is very good actually in matching. So as long as your top priority has been met, never mind the others, it could be developed. And God will help them put things like, but as long the characters there, you know, there are minor things. Otherwise, if you try to be a perfectionist and then, oh, I did not find him this one, you will never end up to your expectation. You just find, oh, I'm late already. The first trip of the economy class is gone. And now even until you just be disappointed and you have just missed those open doors that God has given you. So that's why we have to be wise as well. If God has given us a chance, you have to grab that one. And then, you know, if it's not for you, you could also feel it. Okay, you could also feel it. That's how it is. But as I said, love is not a feeling, it is a principle. And then as you have to flourish that love together, it will just grow and grow until as long as God is your guide.
Amen.
Amen. Yes, Bona Claude, you can go ahead with your question.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am and dad. Thank you so much for the feature. It's really inspiring. You have answered some of the questions that we had in our talk 2 weeks ago, and it's clear. At least you have somebody who can make everything clear. I have a question. In the presentation, you say that you have to get along with the family or friends so that you can get to know more the person. But the question is, I just take the example of, for example, Wanakato, he's from Uganda, and then he has somebody from Indonesia. They don't speak the same language. They only meet here and they speak only English. Kato's parents, they don't know even English. The same with the Indonesian. How do you get along with the family when you don't even speak the same language?
Okay, you know what? That is one of the barriers that we have, but it's not a big issue actually. You could do many things how to meet that family. Okay, like for example, you could not talk, okay, to your parents verbally, but by knowing them, but at least, like for example, you could give something, like a small token, something. That's how, if they will say, oh, this man, I've never heard him talk, but I think this man could be kind and generous and thoughtful by giving a small gift, isn't it? That's how you communicate. It's not only speaking. You could communicate through action. You see? So that one for me is not a big barrier. You could find ways how to reach the family. Distance is not an issue. You could make things like virtual. You could just say, show them, come. My mom cannot talk, you see, but you look at them. Just saying like that is a way of communicating, isn't it? To see that, oh, this is how the man looks like that you are telling us. Oh, I've seen his face. Oh, he has cute eyes. He has nice lips. He is jolly. You know, they could already see you. You see, so you don't wait for that time when all of you will meet together and have that verbal communication. You could do many things to let your friends or your family meet together, okay? So I hope that is clear. That's why we have to be also creative, how to meet our friends. Like for Ron, you know, when we were meeting, his parents, when he was going to, he said, I want you to meet my parents. I don't speak the language. The parents, they don't speak my language, they don't speak how to Tagalog. So we're struggling in speaking with English, you know, because for them, they could speak English, but not as fluent as we do, as the younger generation before. I have also a big issue to communicate, but did not want. That did not stop me. I had to show that just even going there, I brought things for them. And that thing already, they have told me, oh, this lady is very generous. They have a fear that we have different culture, but they have seen how I give them gifts. It's not to bribe them. That's how I am, showing that I love them. You see, and there's already a communication that started. Oh, this lady, and they said, they even told him, I think, Ron, that they said, you better marry this girl now. We like her, you know? So something like that. Do something that will create the communication. Don't wait for the verbal to reach from Uganda to India to Philippines and all of you will meet. No, it will not happen, especially this COVID. Okay? All right. I hope, whose name is Rukondo? Oh, Claude. I hope, Claude, I have answered your question.
Yes, yes. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Bona Claude, and thank you also, Dr. Ron and Ma'am Judy. We do not have time for more questions, but in case someone wants to ask one question, we can take one last question, and then we can move to our lesson study.
Charmaine, do you have a question?
I do have a question. Right here for reference.
Cannot hear you, Charmaine.
You're mute.
You can't hear me from here?
Unmute.
Oh, yeah, now we can.
Oh, I was just saying. The reference with
They said no.
Unmute.
Unmute. They cannot hear you, Doc. Oh.
we're in the same. You cannot hear us? Hello?
Now we can hear you.
Now.
Okay, because I'm just using the same laptop as them. But I'm just saying that I can access the resources anytime because they're here. So I can ask them questions anytime.
Oh, I see. Yes. Well, then I would say thank you for sharing your beautiful story, Dr. Ron and Ma'am Judy. You shared also some very practical things. So I hope all of us here have learned something today. And it was nice also to listen to your story and how you met together and how you ended up marrying each other. So thank you so much to share your beautiful story with us. And we hope that you will join us also, not just today, but in the future also to worship with us because we are so happy to have you here. Thank you so much.